Good morning, everyone. I'm Ved from Habit Foundation, and we have our distinguished guest over here, Mr. Ramanan Ramanathan. I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Ved, and it's great to be part of this Habit Foundation event today. My name is Ramanan Ramanathan, and I have been the former mission director, the founding mission director of the Atal Innovation Mission at the Niti Aayog. As most of you know, Niti Aayog is the National Institution for Transforming India. I'm also alumni of IIT Bombay, and I've had the good fortune to be educated at Harvard Business School and in Cambridge, UK on sustainability leadership. So that's my background.
So it's an impressive background, and with Habit being an entrepreneurship cell for our Viksit Foundation as well, and other colleges as well, and you being in this background, I could see that you had a sustainability related role as well. So what is your take on India's stance in entrepreneurship related to sustainability?
I think India is at a very, very interesting point in its evolution. We are a young country. We have 1.4 billion people, but we have more than 65% of our country under 35 years old, and we have more than 50% of our country under 25 years old. And therefore, we are a very youthful country with a lot of youthful energy. And all of you here represent that youthful energy. We are also one of the fastest growing economies of the world. We have been growing at 6 to 8%, but we have the potential to grow between 8 to 12% over the next several years. And the third is, we are living in a world where technology is changing the shape of the world, the way you are experiencing the world and the way the world is experiencing you.
Yes.
And technology has become affordable, accessible, available, and advanced. As a result, you are now having a chance to be able to innovate, to become an entrepreneur, to be able to solve problems which have not been solved before or which have been solved suboptimally. And India needs to become a nation of job creators, not just job seekers.
Yes,
and our youth is our greatest strength. So how do we transform this youthful energy and the youth of our nation to become the innovators and the job creators of the future? And that is where the government of India and the whole of India, in fact, today, is seeing how do we create a vibrant ecosystem of innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups that would be able to promote the startup ecosystem. We are one of the fastest growing startup ecosystems in the world. We are the third largest startup ecosystem. And we are also one of the fastest growing economies.
Yes.
So when you have this combination of technology availability and affordability, fast growing economy, and a youthful country, we have the potential to become one of the most innovative countries of the world. And that is what the government of India is aspiring through many programs that it has introduced. Like, for example, the Atal Innovation Mission, where even at a school level, we have launched thousands of tinkering labs. And these tinkering labs are enabling young students from schools between grade 6 to grade 12 to acquire a problem-solving, innovative mindset. That is very important. How do you acquire an entrepreneurial mindset? So these are all the various initiatives that are happening. And I think India is in a supremely optimal position today. Viksit Bharat is the slogan that the Honorable Prime Minister has been saying across the country. How do we create Viksit Bharat? And what is Viksit Bharat all about? It is about how do I create one of the best economies of the world? How do I create a net zero climate change based economy? How do we also make sure that we have social empowerment for our farmers, for our youth, for our women, and so on and so forth, so that they have equal opportunity, if not more? And how do we also ensure that we become among the leaders in innovation across the world?
Okay. So, sir, with so much going on, like government is incentivizing our startup economy. Startups are booming as well. Some are becoming unicorn. But in the same time, there is a stigma behind entrepreneurship that what if it fails? What are the legal jargons that I need to be aware about?
Correct.
That is the many things. Then there are like seed funding issues. Is there anything that you have come across like this?
Yeah. So what you're saying is very, very much true, in the sense that these are the challenges that we have. But the challenges are more because as a society we have grown to be very cautious. And there was need to be cautious at some point in time. If I say 20 years ago, India was still an emerging economy. But today it has an emerged economy. And in an emerged economy or in a fast developing economy like ours, the ability to take risk and the ability for you to be able to become an entrepreneur is very high as compared to maybe 10 years or 20 years ago. Because we have a lot of investment which is flowing in India. The government is giving a lot of funding. I mean, if you look at each of these missions that have been set up, the India AI mission, more than 10,000 crore worth of GPUs are being made available to startups. You have an RDI funding, the Research, Development and Innovation funding, that has recently been launched by the DST, the Department of Science and Technology. That's going to be 1 lakh crore of funding. But at the same time, private sector is also getting equally invested in this. You are having venture capital networks who are providing seed funding or angel startups. Angel funding is now becoming common. Otherwise, previously, you had people who were only funding mature startups. But today, they are seeing the potential for good ideas to be cultivated through your Habit Foundation, for example, and then be nurtured and be given the opportunity to express itself as a startup. So the opportunities are many. Society is changing in the way they're perceiving it. Today, if you go and check, many of the students who are coming from universities, they want to become an entrepreneur rather than just become a job seeker. Because there's a great delight in exercising your creativity, your innovation, and creating something. Once you do that, you won't go back to just a normal 9-to-5 job. But even in a 9-to-5 job, you have to acquire an entrepreneurial mindset. And that is what a Habit Foundation and the incubator here, which is being set up, will help you to think in those lines and become an entrepreneur of the future.
Okay, so one more question I would like to ask when you were speaking so much. So it occurred to me that most of the time students do think about starting a startup, but they fear that what if my idea gets stolen? So something along this line, have you ever noticed this happening, or do you encourage students to just come out, try your skills, try developing one business? If it is copied, then it is something that is worth to be copied. What are your takes on this?
So the world has progressed because of people building on ideas which have already been there.
Yeah.
So, this is not something new, but people get scared that what if my idea gets stolen? It's not for the idea to be stolen. It is difficult. It's easy to steal an idea maybe, but it's difficult to steal an innovation. So many people have a lot of ideas, but how do you convert that idea into a prototype of an innovation? How do you convert that prototype into a product? And as you keep building that, you build intellectual property and you build barriers for your idea to be copied. Because the way you would, for example, you have many mobile phones, but why is the iPhone standing out? Or why is the Samsung phone standing out? Because they put a lot of innovation in an existing idea. And the faster you are, the more agile you are, the more you bring technology into focus, the more you are customer focused. All of these start helping you put those features, functionalities into your product, which others can't easily copy. So don't worry about it. But the other thing I just want to share is there is a tremendous focus on intellectual property in India. And we have an IPO organization, intellectual property organization in India, where if you have an idea, you can immediately submit it. There is a process of submitting it so that it can be patented, and thereby you are also protecting your idea.
Okay. Coming to patents, since you mentioned it, so I have seen that most of our patents, though not like most of our patents, like Indian people go abroad, citizens go abroad, and then they innovate over there, and then the patent is registered over there. Rather than that, since now Niti Aayog and other seed fundings is also started by India, have you seen growth in the registration of unique patents in India as well?
Yeah, there has been a tremendous growth. In fact, over the last couple of years, not only our research outputs have increased from the university's research papers, we are among the fastest growing research publication papers. We are also one of the fastest growing in IP, intellectual property registration and patents being registered. So if you see over the last 4 or 5 years, there has been a tremendous positive increase, and you see the slope and the gradient. It is a very encouraging gradient. And so I think the government is doing it. Also, the rest of the world respects Indian talent today, right?
Yes.
And they look upon India as a democracy where intellectual property is respected. So I would encourage all young students, don't worry about all these things. You have mechanisms by which you can protect your idea, you can protect your patent, you can protect your intellectual property, but then go the next mile of converting that idea into an innovation and into a startup, and you're on the road.
Okay. So I would like to know more about you, like how you got into this field from IIT, then business school, and then sustainability, and then now Niti Aayog, director of
Well, I've been fortunate to. I'm a Mumbaiker. I was born in Mumbai, studied like all of you in Dadar in Antonio de Silva School, then went to Ruia College, and then got into IIT Bombay. I think the journey of I've been part of 3 entrepreneurial journeys. One is TCS. TCS was a fledgling organization around in the 1980s.
Yeah.
I joined TCS in 1981, and at that time it was probably less than 1,000 people, but now it's a 700,000 person organization.
Yes.
And what I learned in TCS was that they dared to dream big. They wanted to be among the top IT companies of the world, even back in 1980s. And by 2010, they had become among the top 10 IT companies of the world, and today they are among the top 3.
Yes.
So that is one. In CMC, when CMC was acquired by the Tata Group in 2001, and I was part of that think tank which acquired. And at that time, we said CMC is a very innovative organization which had created solutions with societal impact. And there I saw how technology and IT could be used for societal impact. Example, railway reservation system that was developed. Millions of people are using that Indian railway reservation system today. Bombay Stock Exchange automation was done by CMC.
Okay.
The depository CDSL was first done by CMC. So I got a healthy respect for local innovation creating tremendous societal impact in India. And then fortunately came the Atal Innovation Mission as an opportunity for me to be able to leverage my corporate experiences in TCS and CMC. And in Atal Innovation Mission, we got a chance to democratize innovation. So if you see the movement, the first entrepreneur journey is all about how you use a computer and provide services.
Yeah.
The second one was how do you create solutions. And the third is how do you democratize innovation. So it's been a steady progress, and I think I've been fortunate to be part of it. But the only thing that I can say is I've enjoyed every bit of it. And I guess when you enjoy everything, you learn, you contribute, and you grow.
Yes. So,
and sustainability you talked about.
Yes.
And sustainability is, I really consider very important in a country like India, we have 1.5 billion people, and we are having 300 million people as a part of the middle class rising economy. And we are going to add another 300 million people to this middle class rising economy. So when we add this, it's going to be a lot of impact on pressure on the ecosystem, right? Yeah. Whether it is emissions, whether it is number of cars being used, whether it is waste management, whether it is housing, whether it is transportation, and so on. And therefore, if India does not focus on sustainability in everything that it does, every innovation, every company that it creates should be focusing on sustainability, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. Yeah. I think India has taken a lead in all of this. Our Prime Minister has been a great advocate of renewable energies, of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and so on, climate change, and so on. And I think this is very important not only for India but for the rest of the world. I had the opportunity to learn more about it at Cambridge in a sustainability leadership program that I attended. And I think we not only have the opportunity to make our country a very sustainable country, but contribute to the rest of the world through our innovations.
So it was a pleasure having you over here, sir. With our conversations, I can grasp that future of India is in entrepreneurship, not in service. Creating job is much important for India right now rather than being in a job.
Yeah. So no, I would slightly modify that. I would say that get an entrepreneurial mindset.
Okay.
When you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you can become an entrepreneur, or you can still be an entrepreneur in a company that you are working for. Because what makes a company progress? Company progresses because of innovation. Yeah. And if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you will not approach your job just that I'll do what is being asked for me to do. I will do this better, more economically, more profitably, more sustainably. And when you look at any job that you do from that point of view, you are already thinking entrepreneurially, right? Yes. So get an entrepreneurial mindset, but we also need a nation of job creators, not just job seekers. And I think every one of us who are here, part of Mumbai educational system or in the top cities of country, we have a great chance to learn and become entrepreneur. So we should think in that way, that I can become a startup creator and you will succeed.
Thanks.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share some thoughts.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure.